Today we are at one of the craziest sporting events in Italy, the absolute pinnacle of motorcycle racing, MotoGP.
We're Matteo and Misha. We are currently traveling to all 20 regions of Italy on the ultimate Italian road trip. After making our way up from Sicily on the overnight train, we spent a wild weekend in Rome celebrating my 30th birthday with tons of food, drinks, and good times. Then we hopped on the fast train from Rome to Florence to finally step foot in our second region, Tuscany. And although our journey has been leisurely, today will be anything but.
Our day began bright and early in Florence as we jumped on the 8 a.m. train to Borgo San Lorenzo, where we arrived an hour later. We were met with shuttles that drove us to the outskirts of the Mugello Circuit. Not gonna lie, we were a little stressed about the transport getting there, as we read it can be pretty unpredictable. But fortunately, everything seemed to be running smoothly this morning. The traffic during this massive event gets quite intense, so the shuttle dropped us off 1.5 kilometers from the entrance, which meant we had to walk the rest of the way.
Grazie.
You could swear that guy was racing in MotoGP or Formula One, because we just got you. I think it said the time was 8 minutes, he got you in 4. So.
That looks so pretty.
We're off to the races then.
Let's go, Billy boy, we're off to the races.
As our scenic stroll approached the racetrack, it was time to flag up and add my own splash of colour in support of my fellow South Africans. The racers we are supporting today are Brad and Darren Binder, brothers from South Africa. Brad Binder is the 5th South African rider to ever race in MotoGP's elite class, even winning the Czech GP during his first season. This season, Darren Binder stepped straight up from Moto3 to MotoGP, skipping Moto2, the middle class, and only the second rider in history to jump directly from the lightweight class to MotoGP. Here's a little throwback to 2020, watching the MotoGP season in lockdown on my family's farm, where we started losing our minds a bit. Here's number 33, so that's why we named him Brad the Bull.
Come back, Brad.
Anyway,
Buongiorno, tutto bene? A posto, contentissimo. Ciao, buongiorno.
Grazie.
we are in.
Hey, Mateo. You have a friend.
Having never been to a MotoGP race before, I thought I was going to be the lone South African in the middle of the Tuscan countryside. But a few minutes after entering the gate, I was proven very wrong. After meeting our new friends that we would never see again, we took a look at the map to try and figure out where we are and where we have to go. We then realized that we were a good 3 kilometers from our seats. As we started our trek around the track, we got hilltop views of the riders running their warm-up laps. The various campsites sprawled around the circuit. Stalls selling food and merchandise, as well as the different fan clubs and their miniature parties going on everywhere. And fans are able to camp at the Mugello Circuit for the entire 3-day event.
I feel like by the time we get to our seats, I also would have done the entire track in Mugello. It's a good thing we got here with like extra hours to spare. I'm also thinking I need to purchase those baby earmuffs. It's much louder here than it is on TV, believe it or not. Hopefully we get to our seats before the race starts. It's 10. The main race starts at 2, so hopefully we make it to our seats before then.
And we walked, and walked, and walked.
So we've been walking for what seems like forever now. We started at this entrance. We walked about 20 or 25 minutes down here, and we still need to go all the way around to get to here. So if you're coming, be sure you got some time to spare, because it's an additional 3Ks if you come in from that entrance.
So it's currently 10:24 and the first helicopter has flown over, so that means a little bit of bourbon and Coke for breakfast. So fun fact for your visit, glass bottles are not allowed. So if you bring some Coke, you can bring it with bourbon in the Coke. May have overdone a little. Luckily we also bought focaccia in our bag with some olives and tomatoes, because we know that carbs will soak up the booze. This video is by no means sponsored by Coca-Cola or the Bourbon Brands Limited. Since we're on a bourbon break, here's what we need to know about the MotoGP. Riders have been running their qualifying races here since Friday. However, today is Sunday, race day. Riders from across the world compete every year in a season that spans across 17 countries and 21 races. Italy boasts the most GP champions out of any country, and they are die-hard fans of the sport. With Mugello being the only race on Italian soil, there are 3 categories in this league: Moto 3, Moto 2, and the main championship being MotoGP. The circuit uses 100% renewable energy and boasts one of the most scenic, modern, and safe racing facilities used today. It is acclaimed as the most sustainable racing circuit in the world. With some trance music in the background. So much like an airport, right after the trance section, you have the silent zone over here. But races begin in 20 minutes with Moto 3 starting at 11. So we still have to get all the way onto the other side. So it should be a good half an hour walk till we get there. This one, in fact, doesn't even tell you where you are because you've moved so slowly that, let me guess, we are going from, I think, where did it say? It said it was somewhere here. No,
Yeah, we were there.
where are we now? Yeah, we passed here. I think we're here.
We're around the corner.
No, we're here.
We're definitely around the
So
corner.
when we last spoke, we were, I think,
And then we still gotta go all the way there.
so it's been officially 2 hours since we arrived at the train station, and we finally made it to the Grandstand. We could only get tickets in the Grandstand because everything else was sold out because we kind of got this at the last minute. So not gonna lie, we have some pretty awesome seats coming up. So we finally actually made it to the section. This is the only event you'll come across where the male toilet line is way longer than the female. Pretty sure the woman to man ratio here is probably about a 9-to-1.
I'm very sorry to report this, but these are the women's restrooms, folks. You are gonna have to squatty and potty. Faux show. Once we reached the center of the circuit, we came across the main beer garden and food stalls, where there was a variety to choose from, including paninis, hamburgers, fried pork, and roast chicken, along with several beer tents and drink trucks. After taking a look around and scouting out our options, we decided on a cheeseburger, since the ones they are grilling up look absolutely massive.
Ciao! Oh, what?
Shamba, ti stai aspettando, Shamba.
Buon appetito!
Grazie mille! This burger is literally like the size of my head. Jam-packed with stuff. They asked us what we wanted on it. We said tutto, so that means all the ingredients. Ah, that's hot. It smells so fresh. We brought some snacks, obviously, because we're balling on a budget. But we thought it was time for a real meal, and luckily this seems big enough for 2 people to share. So good. That is quality.
After refueling with Italy's largest burger, we decided to check out the merchandise stalls to find ourselves a souvenir. That's actually pretty cute.
I like that.
I like it.
Is that a women's sweater?
I don't know. 99 euros.
99 euros for this? Maybe I'll just be cold.
Okay, we're gonna try 2 more places. Merch is expensive here. Mugello cap for 20.
So I just wanted to know what the cheapest thing here was because everything's like actually like extraordinarily priced. The cheapest thing was a €5 magnet, but then Matteo liked one that was €7, so that's the one we're going with. And that is our souvenir from the trip because everything else is like hella euros. We're not trying to spend hella euros, so. Oh, there it is. Is that the one that we got? Beautiful. Wow, precious.
Ciao, buongiorno ragazzi.
Ciao!
I can't afford a cap, let's go. We are in our grandstand section here, right in the center. We finally made it after like 3 hours of walking. To be fair, we went a bit slow. We got some food, we had a drink, situated ourselves. But now we get to sit down. The main event starts in 1 hour and 20 minutes. So this should be super exciting. Today we are in the bronze grandstand, right in the heart of the action. With a perfect view of the start-finish line, the riders' garages, and the winner's podium.
Any luck on the headphones?
No, they're sold out. Asked them, said no headphones. Really worried for our skulls for the day. Panicking a little bit.
I've been asking around, and apparently everybody brought their earplugs with them, so we're the
Oh
only...
no, don't worry, the guy was selling them downstairs, but when I asked, he said they sold out, so...
Oh no, everyone else else brought them with them, and I feel like a noob right now.
No, don't worry, we bought the next best thing, paracetamol. So. Today's race covers 23 laps for a total of 120 kilometers. The Mugello track is just over 5 kilometers long and has a total of 15 turns, as well as the longest straight of the MotoGP Championship. In the most surprising twist of the day, a 23-year-old Italian rookie, Fabio Di Gianantonio, claimed pole position for this race, meaning he is to begin the race in first, which is a big deal in any motorsport. It's his first season in MotoGP, and he is part of a lineup of 5 Ducati bikes up in the front, which is also cool because Italy is the home of Ducati.
Grande Italia, grande prima fila, grande Aprilia, grande Ducati, veramente tutto è pronto. Sguardi tesissimi per la pole di Fabio Di Gianantonio, Marco Bezzecchi, Marini, Zarco, Bagnaia. Difficile. Ma vedo tutte le autorità. Se non erro dovrà fare un long lap, sì. Ah no, ha perso 3 posizioni sulla griglia ed è un minuto. Leader, Pecco, Bagnaia, Ducati, De Nobis.
I'd say it's looking good, but I can't actually see the screen from this far, and the riders are going by too fast, so like I guess we'll have to see on TV when we get home.
Uno dietro l'altro, attenzione a Marco, si avvicina Fabio Quartararo.
Look, they're going really fast, very hard, steep track. Watch that.
Che gara, Dini Jarvis ha un grande talento nella sua squadra.
Sono italiano.
Saluti
All
anche
of a
alla
sudden,
ragazza
hey?
Silvia.
All of a sudden we got a D-carabiner this, hey?
I'm gonna go like this. It's gonna be. Let's make it Italian. I need to reverse it. So it needs to
You
be-
also need to hide the blue.
Oppa! Huh? Good. I wore an Italian flag. I came here supporting my Italy. Sono italiano.
MotoGP, trionfo Mugello, saluta della tribuna. Signore e signori, fantastica festa, bellissima gara, inizia la premiazione con il trofeo per la squadra Ducati Lenovo Ratti. Ed i creatori del Gran Premio d'Italia, Pecco Bagnaia. Fantastico, vincitore edizione 2022, Ducati Pecco del Lenovo alla inno. Pecco, Fabio, Alessio, Florence, Docco e Pecco. No, ragazzi, tutti quanti è stato bellissimo, abbiamo fatto un grande lavoro.
With the final result, Ducati celebrated a home victory thanks to Francesco Bagnaia. Brad Binder finished in 7th after leaping up 9 places from the starting grid, and Darren Binder finished in 16th. How to keep your wife warm without buying a sweater?